In a big push to the NewsX Fill the Seats campaign, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, who is in Jammu and Kashmir, has said that POK is an integral part of India. The Raksha Mantri, while speaking at the Kargil Vijay Diwas, asserted that Pak-occupied Kashmir was, is and always will be part of India. The Defence Minister's staunch resolve was followed by a similar statement by the RSS second-in-command, Dattatreya Hospale, addressing the POK displaced as the first victims. The RSS leader added that they must get complete justice. Listening.
सवाल करते हैं लोग पाक अधिकृत कश्मीर के बारे में। पाक अधिकृत कश्मीर के बारे में आपको याद है, भारत की संसद ने प्रस्ताव पारित किया था और आज भी वह संकल्प हम सबको याद है। पाक ऑक्युपाइड जम्मू कश्मीर यह भारत का हिस्सा था, है और रहेगा। हम इसको मानते रहेंगे बहनों भाइयों, उसे हम कभी भूलेंगे नहीं, कभी हम उसे भूलेंगे नहीं।
पाकिस्तान अधिक्रांत जम्मू कश्मीर के लोग स्वतंत्र भारत के जम्मू कश्मीर के पहले पीड़ित हैं। उनको पूर्ण न्याय मिलना चाहिए। आज वो तरस रहे हैं, भारत की ओर देख रहे हैं। हम कब स्वतंत्र होंगे?
A campaign started 4 years ago to deliver justice to the displaced people of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir by NewsX has been committed to getting the POJK seats defreezed in the J&K Assembly. Have a look at the growing chorus in support of this campaign.
हमारे साथ कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेता प्रमोद तिवारी जी हैं। प्रमोद जी, क्या आपको नहीं लगता है कि समय आ गया है कि पाक अधिकृत कश्मीर के लिए जो 24 सीट जो आवंटित हैं, अब उसको भरा जाना चाहिए? एक लोकसभा सीट भी है।
ये तो बहुत दिनों से कांग्रेस पार्टी हमेशा से कहती रही है कि पाकिस्तान ने जो कब्जा कर रखा है वो पूरी तरह अनऑथराइज, अनाधिकृत है, वो खाली होना चाहिए। और जब जम्मू कश्मीर मिल जाएगा तो उसका प्रतिनिधित्व तो विधानसभा में होगा ना, और मुजफ्फराबाद की सीट जो है लोकसभा में होगी। तो बहुत
तो इसका अब समय आ गया है कि अब इस पर निर्णय लिया जाना चाहिए।
तो सरकार तय करे, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ इतना कह सकता हूं कि ये हर भारतवासी की हार्दिक।
हमारे साथ शिवसेना की सांसद प्रियंका चतुर्वेदी जी हैं। प्रियंका जी, न्यूज़ लगातार अभियान चला रहा है कि फिल द वैकेंट सीट्स इन पीओके। जो 24 सीट वैकेंट है उसको फिल किया जाना चाहिए। अब समय आ गया है कि जो 24 सीट है उसको वैकेंट है उसको भरा जाना चाहिए
पीओके में। जी, तो बिल्कुल हम तो सभी कह रहे हैं। हम शिवसेना तो एकमात्र पार्टी है जिन्होंने कश्मीर की लड़ाई लड़ी है, 370 हटाने की लड़ाई लड़ी है। ये भी कहा है कि कश्मीर का हर एक हिस्सा जो पाकिस्तान के कब्जे में है वो वापस देश में आना चाहिए। पूछना ये है, 56 इंच के सीने वाली सरकार ये काम कर पाई है।
एक लोकसभा सीट भी है जिसको भी हम लोग लगातार अभियान चला रहे हैं, उसको भरा जाना चाहिए, केवल नारे से नहीं। अब
पहले तो जो जम्मू कश्मीर का हिस्सा जो हमारे पास है वो तो पार्लियामेंट में दिखे, राज्यसभा में वो एक इम्पोर्टेंट काउंसिल ऑफ स्टेट्स होता है राज्यसभा, और उसमें जम्मू और कश्मीर की कोई आवाज़ नहीं है। तो ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण सवाल है। और ऊपर बाद में मैं पीओके के बारे में बात करूँगी, पर जो हमारे कश्मीर के जो भाई बहन हैं जिनको राज्यसभा में अपनी बात रखनी चाहिए, उनको
पीओके में लगभग 24 पद रिक्त पड़े। वहाँ पर पाकिस्तान सरकार चुनाव नहीं कराती, वहाँ के प्रतिनिधियों को संसद में नहीं भेजती। क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि वहाँ के जनप्रतिनिधियों को संसद में जाने का हक मिलना चाहिए?
मैं तो ये कहता हूँ आपके माध्यम से कि पीओके में एक बार पाकिस्तान की सरकार से निर्णय करवा ले वहाँ के लोगों से कि वो भारत में रहना चाहते हैं, पाकिस्तान में रहना चाहते हैं, तो पूरी दुनिया को मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि आज पाकिस्तान के नागरिक ही पाकिस्तान में नहीं रहना चाहते, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान की जिस प्रकार की स्थिति है। और पीओके के लोग तो बार बार संघर्ष और आंदोलन कर रहे हैं वहाँ पर आज़ादी पाने के लिए, और उनका एक संघर्ष एक न एक दिन ज़रूर भारत के साथ मिलकर वो आकर भारत के साथ अपने विकास में अपने क्षेत्र के लोगों को आगे बढ़ाने का काम करेंगे।
ठीक है, हमारे साथ बाबा भरतनाथ, जिनका कहना है कि माँ शारदा और बाबा अमरनाथ का मिलन होके रहेगा। जहाँ तक रिक्त सीटों की बात है तो खुद पाकिस्तान के लोग भी पाकिस्तान में नहीं रहना चाहते। एक बार पीओके में जन सर्वेक्षण करा के देख ले पाकिस्तान सरकार, समझ में आ जाएगा।
Joining us at this point is Rajiv Chunni, Chairman SOS International Organization for POK Displaced People. We also have Sumit Peer, political commentator, joining us live. Yana Mir, Editor-in-Chief, ITV The Real Kashmir News, is joining us live. Kashi Akhoon, Kashmiri Pandit, is also with us on the broadcast. Rajan Khanna, Kashmiri Pandit, also joins us live. Let me begin with you first, Rajiv Chunni. Have you heard back from the government yet on your request, on your demand, on your letter? And how do you now react to this campaign gaining further momentum every day with more and more MPs raising their voice for this demand?
देखिए, निश्चित तौर पर इसको एक समर्थन मिल रहा है और जितनी आशा हम करते हैं, उम्मीद करते हैं, उससे अधिक मिल रहा है और इसका श्रेय निश्चित तौर पर NewsX चैनल को जाता है, जिन्होंने इस कैंपेन को आज से 3 बरस पहले पूरी ताकत के साथ और पूरी ईमानदारी के साथ इसको आगे ले जाने का बीड़ा उठाया और हम भी उसमें शामिल थे और भी मेरे साथी थे जो आज भी पैनल में हैं। तो मैं ये समझता हूँ कि एक बात इस देश और दुनिया को पता चल जानी चाहिए कि खाली इलाका पाकिस्तान के कब्जे में नहीं गया है, वहाँ से लोग भी विस्थापित आए हैं, हिंदू और सिख, जो बीते 7 से भी अधिक दशकों से हिंदुस्तान में रह रहे हैं विभिन्न राज्यों में। उनको आज तक राजनीतिक अधिकार नहीं मिले और जो कल यहाँ पर एक आयोजन हुआ है, हमने उन लोगों को जिन्होंने कुर्बानियाँ दी 1947 से लेके आज तक, उनके शहीद लोगों के परिजनों को यहाँ सम्मानित किया गया। उसमें राजनाथ सिंह जी भी थे और RSS के हौसवाले भी थे और इन दोनों ने कल फिर एक संकल्प दोहराया है, RSS की तरफ से भी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की तरफ से भी। वो संकल्प जो है वो हमें एक ताकत देता है, हमें आगे बढ़ने की प्रेरणा देता है और उनका ये साफ कहना है कि अब शुरुआत हो चुकी है और ये रुकने वाली नहीं है तब तक जब तक हम पूरा इलाका वापस लाकर एक अखंड भारत नहीं बना देते। लेकिन मैं ये जरूर कहूँगा, जब तक हम उस पार वाले इलाके को अपने साथ जोड़ते हैं, तब तक जो लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं 17 लाख मेरे जैसे मीरपुर से, मुजफ्फराबाद से, गिलगित से, बाल्टिस्तान से, पुंछ से, उन इलाकों से जो पाकिस्तान के नाजायज कब्जे में हैं, उनको यहाँ पर प्रतिनिधित्व दिया जाना चाहिए। विधानसभा के अंदर, लोकसभा के अंदर, राज्यसभा के अंदर वो अपनी बात रखें ताकि एक संदेश जाए कि भारत जो है वो खाली बातें नहीं करता, वो आज प्रैक्टिकल तौर पर उस पर काम कर रहा है। और मैं समझता हूं कि जब से ये मुहिम तेज हुई है, खास तौर पर आपके चैनल में 3-4 रोज से और ज्यादा तेज हुई है, तो लोगों के अंदर एक भारी उत्साह है। क्योंकि मैं जहां जम्मू में रहता हूं, यहाँ 12 लाख के करीब विस्थापित रहते हैं हिंदू और सिख। वो इतने उत्साहित हैं क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि अगर आज तक हमारी बात नहीं सुनी गई तो उसका कारण यही था कि हमारा कोई प्रतिनिधि नहीं था जो हमारी बात उठाता, बोलता या हमारे लिए कोई सहारा बनता। लेकिन अगर हमारे लोगों को नुमाइंदगी मिलती है विधानसभा के अंदर, लोकसभा के अंदर, राज्यसभा के अंदर, तो निश्चित तौर पर देश की तो बात करेंगे, उस इलाके की भी हम बात करेंगे, लेकिन अपने समुदाय की भी बात करेंगे और अन्य लोगों की भी बात करेंगे जो आज पूरी तरह से पिछड़े हुए हैं, उपेक्षित हैं, जिन्हें सत्ता का कोई लाभ नहीं मिलता, जो लोग पूरी तरह से इससे वंचित हैं। तो मैं समझता हूँ एक वंचित समाज को एक सहारा देना, उनको राजनीतिक तौर पर उनको एक सशक्तिकरण देना, ये सारी चीजों की ओर हम बढ़ रहे हैं। मैं स्वागत करता हूं कल के इन दोनों महानुभावों के बयानों का, RSS का और बीजेपी का, और हम बड़ी तेजी के साथ मैं समझता हूं आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। अब रुकने का कोई सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता।
जी बिल्कुल, और मैं इस वक्त सुमित पीर का भी रुख कर लेता हूं। सुमित पीर, clearly of course this campaign gaining more and more momentum with each passing day, the RSS number 2 weighing in, the defense minister weighing in, saying that we need to put the interests of the POK people also in front of our parliament and our countrymen and our citizens. We must not forget them. We must continue to strive for justice for them.
Uday, thank you very much for having me on your show. Today, what we are discussing is a tectonic movement, because I'll tell you why. First, let's go back to Amit Shah ji's statement when he abrogated 370 and 35A. He said, "Hum jaan deke bhi POK lenge." Now, Rajnath Singh ji weighing in and Datta ji weighing in. Mr. Housewell is commonly referred as Datta ji. Now, Datta ji weighing in. Who is Datta ji? Datta ji is a number 2 in command in RSS. If Datta ji says so, then that means this is the political mansha or political will of RSS. So you have the Honorable Home Minister saying, you have the Defense Minister of India saying, and you have the RSS second in command, the main man of RSS saying. And let me take you back. Bhagwat ji, a month back, said the Kashmiri Pandits within a month or within 1 year or so will go back to Kashmir. And we have the roads built, Nitin Gadkari ji. We have the economic muscle. Nirmala Sitharaman ji, and diplomatically we have isolated Pakistan. Credit goes to Dr. Jaishankar. And let me not talk of Modi ji. He doesn't talk much. He only gives the action. Whenever he wants, he can give the action, and we will liberate POK. Now, all the important people in command have given a clear mandate and expressed our intent that we want to get back POK. That is for sure. In the meanwhile, filling the seats is a very important thing, what we have been discussing here. Today, Uday, Pakistan literally, excuse my slang, will be shitting in their pants, because after all these people in the line have kind of said that we will liberate POK with their current economic strength, with their current military strength. Literally, they are bankrupt. They don't have money to it. They don't have money to buy wheat and rice. Now, this is what the India says. And what makes it more important is, now today, RSS for the first time has come clearly and backed the government of India. Because let's not forget, BJP is the political arm of RSS. Now, Dattaji saying so makes a lot of sense. And he, along with Rajnath ji, making it very clear our intentions. Today, Pakistanis will be really shivering. They will not know what to do. We welcome this step because the people of POK have to be liberated, Uday. I'll tell you one thing. Today, the POK degrees are not valid in any of Pakistan. You know, if you can have a graduation, Pakistan will not validate it. Now, today, the second highest number of missing persons after Balochistan are from POK. Look at the index of POK. Look at how they have kind of changed the DNA of the place. How many Punjabis have been infiltrated and the land is grabbed. And most important thing, the 17 lakh people like Rajiv Chunniji who are here, who have been suffering for the last 70 years, they also need to get what is rightly due to them. Today, I think all the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. India's political view, ideological view, military view, everything is aligned. We'll only wait for a day and time of our choosing when we will go and take the POK. We're not going to tell them that, but yes, definitely we're poised to do that. I think we have sent loud, clear and enough messages to Pakistan. Just wait and watch. The day Prime Minister gives the green light, like Balakot, like the surgical strikes, we'll come and take what rightly belongs to us, or aap dekhte reh jaoge.
Okay, Sumit, stay with us. In fact, let me also quickly bring in the others as well at this point, because at the end of the day, Yana Mir, this is something that has been pending for very, very long. You know, it's a demand, of course, that has been made for multiple years. But finally, of course, with the momentum gaining, finally with after Article 370 and 35A, with attention coming now also to POK for the complete unification of the Union Territory, which will hopefully soon go back to being a full-fledged state. Do you believe it's finally time now to move forward, to turn these voices now into concrete action?
Yeah, it is definitely time. I'll tell you why. There are a couple of reasons. You know, it's not only because of a political will of our, the people in authority and all that. It's also, you see, if you see from a security point of view, why is there always been this Azadi ki ladai in Jammu and Kashmir? What is the main crux of the matter? When they say, when these people who used to, who've always plotted against the Indian Union in the name of Azadi in Kashmir, what is the main reason of their hatred for India? It's none of these administrative issues and all of that. The main issue that they have with India, what the boiling point inside them is that their families have been separated because of that LOC. As you're already aware, families have been displaced. Okay, so families have been broken apart. They can't come on this side and these people can't go on that side. And there is also an economic factor to it. You see, as much as the administration would try to do, or the central government would try to do for Jammu and Kashmir, the business there is not going to pick up simply because there is no point in exporting anything out of Jammu and Kashmir to the rest of India, because the rest of India is self-sufficient. The main market of Srinagar, do you know where the buyers used to come from? They used to come from Muzaffarabad and all. So I'll give you an example. So if there is a wedding in, say, Meerut, so what is that family going to say? Let's go to Delhi and do all the wedding shopping and come. But in Srinagar, how big is Srinagar? I mean, how big is the valley? It's hardly 150 kilometers. What is their main market parameters are in POK. So if there is a wedding happening in Muzaffarabad, the people would say, let's go to Srinagar and do all the wedding shopping and come. So this is one of the reasons that economically Kashmir has always taken a backseat because of this conflict and because of this LOC. And in any case, India had agreed to the LOC for many reasons. But one of the reasons is that Pakistan would leave us alone. But unfortunately, it's not leaving us alone. The infiltrations are continuously happening. And what is the point of having an LOC if there is always going to be infiltrations at the line of control? And Pakistan keeps claiming this part of Jammu and Kashmir just because it has a Muslim majority population. It doesn't make any. They keep saying United Nations, and the United Nations also keeps interfering in this matter. Just because Kashmir has a majority Muslim population, it is being insinuated that it should be handed over to Pakistan. I mean, what is all this argument for? Just because it has a Muslim population. So Dearborn in Michigan has a Muslim population. Birmingham in UK has a majority Muslim population. Hand that over also to Pakistan. It doesn't make any sense. So these are some of the reasons why, economic reasons and the will of the people and the discontent of the people due to their families being broken apart. And there are a lot of reasons like this for which it is important for us to acquire POK back. It's not only because of political will of RSS or BJP, but it's also so that there is stability in national security issues. But then again, once we take back POK, what's going to happen? Like someone here mentioned about demographic change. Yes, that's happened. So now there are a lot of Punjabis living in POK. Once we acquire POK, which I'm pretty sure we will do it very soon, now there's going to be a fight between the Punjabi families that are broken up. So there is some Punjabi families living in POK which will belong to India eventually, and some Punjabi families living in Pakistan. Now they are going to have infiltrations from there, trying to come in here and trying to get this part back, and that's not going to stop. So I feel we must also have before we do all this filling up of Lok Sabha seats and all that from that side, we must have a kind of a naturalization over there. Like how, for example, there is a naturalization process in Switzerland. One cannot acquire a passport or a permanent residency of Switzerland unless one naturalizes as a Swiss citizen. So that I think we have to consider doing something like that. Otherwise, this thing is going to continue. And another reason, one very big reason why we must get POK, whether or not the Muslim majority population over there hates India, hates Indians, hates Hindus, it doesn't matter now. It is important still to acquire that land because we had never agreed to the LOC in the first place just so that Pakistan starts selling off its land and auctioning off its land to China. We're not going to accept Chinese presence in our area, in our land, which we have always considered as Akhand Bharat. So that's again one of the main reasons that we must get POK back.
Yes, indeed. Let me also bring in Kashi Akhoon at this point as well. Kashi Akhoon, do you believe this is a natural step in bringing back POK within Indian territory to ensure more mainstreaming for the region through the defreezing of these seats?
Thank you very much for bringing up this chapter today, and we are very grateful to NewsX people for giving us a chance to discuss and deliberate it here. Actually, the POK has been forcibly captured by Pakistan in 1947 without any investigation. They have overrun that area, and a huge public of minority Hindus and Sikhs were killed in Muzaffarabad, in Mirpur, in Pak-occupied Kashmir, which we are saying today, and in Kashmir itself. Our village was brutally murdered by these terrorists there, the Pakistani forces, and 26 families of our village were brutally murdered in 1947. They have crushed a total minority in Pakistan, and more than 25,000 families have been wiped out, and they have jumped in river, this Kishanganga there, and mostly the people ran from that area. And not only then, but till now, Pakistan is continuously sponsoring terrorism in Kashmir also, and in 90, the Hindus from the in this part of the Kashmir have been forcibly victim of genocide, and they are living outside. This is a matter of concern to whole of the universe and to humanity, that how long these sufferers will be continuing their sufferings. And they have been deprived, the Hindus from Kashmir and Hindus from Pak-occupied Kashmir has been deprived of their political rights throughout, whether we were living in Kashmir or the POK people who have been forcibly migrated and evicted from POK by Pakistan or living in different parts of the country, including Jammu and Kashmir. They have been not part of the political process and the democratic process throughout for these 75 years. So I feel this government which is running the country now, वो वचनबद्ध है इस चीज के लिए और उन्होंने जो सम्मान दे दिया है इस ह्यूमन शक्ति को, तो दिस इज ए ग्रेट थिंग एंड the democracy is going to its roots, and every people, every person, whether he is the resident of Kashmir or he is resident of POK, are getting the benefit of democracy here in India. Now, after 24 seats have been reserved in POK, because of that is part of our India, and in 1994 our parliament has passed a resolution with 100% of voting that POK is to be get back from the clutches of Pakistan. Now I feel this is the right time that is to be get back to India. You see, the Kishanganga has divided the Kashmir in two parts. We have our Sharda Devi that is lying in POK, which was a Shakti Pitha, and that was a huge religious university which was guiding the entire humanity throughout the world. But it has been destroyed and demolished by Pakistan. Now I feel all the human beings who are believing in the humanity, they should come together and they should request the Indian government to please, this is the time to get POK back from Pakistan. And this state of Jammu and Kashmir, East Valley, including Baltistan and Galgit, that should be again merged with India, so that the justice will be given not only to the minority but also to those people who are living in POK and who have been subject to the atrocities of Pakistan armed forces right from 1997 till date. Number third, we the Kashmiri Pandits who are living in exile, who have been victims of genocide, we were never part of any democratic process in Kashmir. We were deprived of that. We were being told, Panditji, your vote has been cast earlier, please don't come here. So I will tell you, even now, the Delimitation Commission has given only 2 seats for Kashmiri Pandits who are living in exile. We have a population of at least 10 lakh people who have been exiled right from 1947 till date. So I feel that we were not our representation was not, they were unrepresented, and if only 2 cities will be given to us, will be underrepresented in this parliament. I feel that Kashmir Pandits should get at least 5 seats in J&K, and POK people who have migrated from POK, they should get at least 10 seats in assembly and 2 parliament seats at least for them in parliament as well as in Rajya Sabha, and 2 seats for Kashmiri Hindus who in this part of Kashmir is in parliament, 1 seat in Rajya Sabha and 1 seat in Lok Sabha. Thank you very much.
Rajan Khanna, come in here on this, this campaign. Do you believe finally it has got the momentum that it needed by the defense minister talking now about the interests of the POK people, the RSS number 2 also coming in and weighing in on the campaign, and also members of parliament cutting across party line?
You see, most of the issue under discussion we had already developed on POK, the unfinished agenda, and which was telecasted on your esteemed channel last year. You had a show for a couple of days on this particular documentary. I'll start with one thing. We can pay perfect homage to those people who were massacred in 1947 in Mirpur town by filling up these 24 seats with their descendants. That is a perfect homage. That is point number 1. Secondly, I fail to understand. Like now, Mananiya Dattatreya is talking about assimilation of POK. RSS right from 1947, they have at the record that they gave so many lives. When Maharaja, 26th of October, Kashmir was assimilated with India, and Pakistan had attacked on 24th. Jawaharlal Nehru, he declined to send forces to Kashmir. In the intervening period, RSS Swayamsevak, they were there on the, now which is called as LOC. Before that, there was no LOC. And then in the towns of Birpur, Muzaffarabad, and across Akhnur, everywhere RSS Swayamsevaks were there who gave their lives so that their motherland is not divided. So the RSS have at the history of, because the conceptualization of RSS as far as the geographical boundary is concerned, that is Akhand Bharat. So that is one point. Second point is, now, after there are various dimensions. One dimension is of filling up the 24 vacancies. Another dimension is like, POJK. And the right terminology right now, people say Pakistan occupies Kashmir. Pakistan occupied Kashmir when we say that is only the part of, the Kashmir Valley, which is in the occupation of Pakistan. The right terminology is Pakistan occupied Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Because when we talk about POJK, then the parts which are across the line of control in the Jammu region, like, across Akhnur, there is Chamjauriya. And then we go further north, then part of Punch is within our, rightful control, and some part is still in Pakistani occupied territory. Then we go further north across this Uri sector, there is Muzaffarabad. And these are the parts which is Muzaffarabad in Kashmir Valley, and rest of the parts are in Jammu. And then we go, then the Gilgit, Hinja, Baltistan. Those are the parts of traditionally the territory which is known as Ladakh. Now, the thing is, we should have proper plans. There are many reasons. One reason is strategic. Another reason is political. Third reason is cultural. First of all, I'll talk with cultural reason. When all the Saraswats living in India, they start their morning prayer with the Namastute, Sharda Devi, Kashmir, Purvasini. That, the Sharda Peeth, it becomes the heart of Indian culture. And since my area of research was Punjab history, I tell you one thing, most of the Gurmukhi Lipi itself, it was derived from Sharda Lipi. So Guru Angad Dev Ji, second Sikh Guru, when he said the Farsi is reaching each and every household of India, at that time he said we should have our own indigenous language.
Yes.
Then he called Butts from Sharda Peeth, and he made them sit at Khadur Sahib, where his seat was there, and they further refined it into Gurmukhi. And for centuries, in entire north and northwestern belt of India, the accounting language, which was known as Lande was one derivative of Sharda Lipi. So you cannot separate Sharda Peeth from the cultural fountainhead of India. So that culturally, and secondly, the Buddhist streams, which are, you can go anywhere in the Gilgit, Hunja, Baltistan, you will find people still, having their old Buddhist traditions over there, and they have their religion has been changed, but culture still remains the old. And this is the cultural point. Second thing is the strategic point of view. Strategic point of view, if you think the CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which China has started from Xinjiang province and takes to the Gwadar port of Pakistan, the main passage to Pakistan is from Khunjera Pass. Khunjera Pass, it is a territory which is in our own territory, which is occupied by Pakistan. And strategically, we just can't have, that necklace what China created, the pearls around us. So that is one point where we have to thwart Chinese design. Otherwise, they will come and sit next to us. And now the geo-economic position,
yes,
the situation which is going on in Pakistan, which is indicating now, I tell you one thing, in a country where now petrol is being rationed, okay, where the chief prime minister has started telling them to stop.
I'm afraid I've run completely out of time, so we're going to have to leave it at that. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us. I think Sumit wanted to come in, so I'll give him 20 seconds and then I have to close.
Movie ki hum tumhe marenge aur zarur marenge. I want to say हम POK लेंगे, जरूर लेंगे, वक्त भी हम तय करेंगे, मौका भी हम तय करेंगे, बंदूक और गोली भी हमारी भी, तुम बस इंतजार करो, आएंगे जरूर.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.